We're surrounded by security, right? Fences, cameras, guards, they're everywhere. But here's a thought. What if most of it is just an illusion? Today, we're going to dig into what real security looks like, pulling back the curtain with some incredible insights from security expert Tony Ridley.
You know, we're totally trained to see these things and just breathe a sigh of relief. We feel safer. But is that feeling actually based on reality? Or are we just getting comfortable while the real threats can walk right on by?
And this, right here, is the key difference. It's security theater versus effective security. One is all about the performance, making us feel safe. The other, it's about actually being safe from a specific known threat. And trust me, that's a world of difference. Okay, so to really get what makes security work, we gotta bust some myths. And the first one is a doozy, this idea that all assets are created equal, that you can just protect everything the same way. Spoiler alert, you can't.
See, it all boils down to this. What are you actually trying to protect? Is it a person? Is it a server full of data? A priceless piece of art? Because the what is going to completely dictate the how.
Yeah, so just forget about some one-size-fits-all, cookie-cutter solution. You can't just go out and buy security off the shelf. Real protection has to be tailored, totally custom, because every single situation is unique.
And that brings us right to myth number 2, the belief that security is just a shopping list. Grab a camera, a few locks, and you're good to go. Nope, that's not how it works. Real security isn't just a pile of products. It's a living, breathing system.
And just look at this. At the very, very center of that system, what do you see? The asset. Everything, and I mean everything, is built around protecting that one thing.
So, okay, how do we actually protect it? Well, not with a single wall, but with a system of 5 interconnected layers. And they're all designed to work together in perfect harmony.
And here are those 5 layers in action. First, you deter an attack. Try to scare them off before they even start. If that doesn't work, you delay them, slow them down. That delay gives you time to detect that something's wrong. Once you've detected them, you respond. And ultimately, the goal is to deny them whatever it is they came for.
Okay, now look at the whole picture. This is where it all clicks. See how every single one of those layers has its own tools, its own tactics? They're all working together, creating this incredibly complex, coordinated defense. It's not a static wall. It's more like a dynamic web.
And Tony Ridley, the expert behind this whole framework, he says it best himself. There is no one universal protection of assets formula or solution. What's he really saying? He's saying every effective security plan is basically a unique masterpiece built for one specific purpose.
All right, so having a custom defense is great, but it's totally useless if you don't know who you're defending against. So now, let's talk about the adversary.
And this right here, this is the million-dollar question. Is your security built to stop a real analyzed threat? Or are you just shadowboxing with some vague idea of a bad guy? Because if you don't really know your enemy, your defenses are nothing more than a shot in the dark.
And this is where the real pros do their homework. This is the detective work. They don't just guess, they analyze, they dissect the adversary piece by piece until they understand every single thing about the threat.
It's just not enough to know what they might do. You got to know who they are, where are they actually from, what kind of community do they belong to, how do they act, and maybe most importantly, what's their mindset, what's their ideology, all of it. It all matters.
So what's the big takeaway here? What does this all mean? It means we really need to shift how we think about security and safety. It's a whole different ballgame.
Think about it like this. You wouldn't take some generic one-size-fits-all pill for a really specific illness, right? Of course not. Well, security is exactly the same. It needs a professional diagnosis and a totally unique prescription for every single context.
Yeah, a real security professional isn't just an installer. They're a master strategist. They analyze the context, they diagnose the needs, they develop a specific plan. But their job doesn't stop there. They are constantly managing and adapting that defense to stay one step ahead. So I'm going to leave you with this thought. The next time you see a security camera on a street corner, ask yourself a couple of questions. Is that thing just for show, or is it part of a much bigger, smarter plan? Is its job to deter, delay, or detect? And most importantly, who is it really designed to stop? The answer might just change how you see the world around you.